Da-da-da-da-da-da. Ladies and gentlemen, KocoSports.com proudly presents Wrestle AM. It's half wrestling show, half morning show, pretty much all BS. And of course, you got 2/3 here of the Coco crew holding it down live. The sexiest man on all of Internet Wrestling Radio. That's right, Boom Boom here, shaking the room live from the RVA, Richmond, Virginia. Of course, join me there way across the pond. Man who is like a proud Englishman sipping his Earl Grey. Talk about LK. Good to see you again, sir.
It is good. It's finally the mania jitters have sunk in. Before I went on air, we discussed mouth burning, cups of tea, all great talk. But this is what we're here to talk about, and I'm looking forward to breaking down this Dallas, Texas fucking takeover card. It's going to be great. Oh, on my quick little plug for my VIPs earlier on, I did a WWN live weekend preview where I broke down everything that's non-WWE that will be on iPay-per-view. Nearly fucking 25 minutes I went, and there's so much, guys. There's literally Saturday if you're sat at home, you got the weekend off because you booked off because it's Mania weekend, baby, and you're not interested in certain parts of the Hall of Fame, or you want to watch the Hall of Fame on demand and you don't want to watch it live because it goes on for 16,000 hours. There is so many great fucking shows to watch on the weekend for like $9.99. So just go out of your way. There's, for instance, Evolve 58 features Ricochet versus Will Ospreay. Just take my money. No. Take my bank card in my house in the fucking PWME UK headquarters, because that's all I want to fucking see and talk about. But we're here to go on.
Yeah, it's funny. You mentioned that. I mean, aside from WWE, on that WrestleMania weekend, you've got the NWA Parade of Champions. Ring of Honor is running 2 cards that weekend. Evolve is running 2 cards, as you just mentioned. WWN, their Super Show, Mercury Rising is taking place. Shimmer is going on. CZW. There's a WrestleCon. There's Jim Ross is hosting an event. Rikishi, he's got a territory out there. He's doing something. I mean, and this is non-WWE stuff that's all going on. It's a jam-packed weekend. So Dallas, Texas is a place to be this weekend, baby. But unfortunately, I will not be there because I've got to work. Fuck my life.
I've got it off. I've tomorrow, Friday, just before NXT Takeover's 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. UK time, one of the fuckers. And I finish work 11 p.m. on Friday. So 11 p.m. was when I finish, and I have 9 days off work. I'm paid holiday leave. So I'll have NXT Takeover off, I'll have all the Saturday wrestling shows off, and I'll have WrestleMania off, the Raw after Mania off, and it's going to be a great fucking time, and I'm going to be chirpy as a son of a bitch.
Wow, yeah, it's going to be great. And you know what? And I think the best thing kicking it off is NXT Takeover Dallas. I think from top to bottom of all the cards, at least the ones that I've seen, this is the one I'm most excited about. This will set the standard, and this will be one of those shows I'm not really convinced that WrestleMania 32 is going to be able to beat these guys. And I'm being 100% dead serious. I'm not being like smarky or anything. I'm just saying, no. I mean, the booking into it. I genuinely want to see the outcomes of like 3/4 of these matches. I'm invested in them. I want to know how these storylines are going to end, how they're going to progress. They've done such a good job building it up. I don't know if WrestleMania 32. You can credit maybe the injuries or the sloppy booking, however you want to put it, but I just feel like pound for pound going into it, I'm more excited about this show, and I'm more invested in the outcomes.
I agree. I'm looking. Oh God, if I take the camera off just off you there, I'm looking forward to this NXT show. But it's sad when WrestleMania is out of all the shows this weekend. The only shows I would rather watch, WrestleMania over would be ZZW, because that's just not my cup of tea. Literally, I'd rather watch both the Evolve shows. The WN Super Show Mercury Rising, because that's got Kota Ibushi on, and I want to see him in that 6-man tag with Will Ospreay, just in the same ring. Gives me goosebumps. There's so much going on, and like WrestleMania is kind of like, oh shit, yeah, I've got to watch that for the fucking show. It's really depressing how WrestleMania on WrestleMania weekend is the show that everyone's least looking forward to. But earlier on today on the WWE's YouTube channel, they posted a clip from the SmackDown that no one watched, because it's fucking the go. It's just, don't watch SmackDown, Booms, because basically it's just a clip showing a video package show. It made the NXT video package show look incredible. But basically what it was is they showed a clip of inside the AT&T Stadium. Holy fuck, Booms, it looks fucking phenomenal. It looks absolutely fucking incredible. And it's an indoor stadium, isn't it? It's an indoor fucking stadium. So the acoustics will bounce off the wall.
With Dallas, okay, it's tricky. Dallas, their stadium, it's set up weird. I will be the first to admit that. It is an indoor stadium, but it's not. And allow me to elaborate. The way, oh, actually, no. I was thinking about the old one. The old one, no, never mind. Yeah, it's all indoors. I was thinking about the old one. The old one, and this is what confused me. I realized, oh shit, yeah, they moved it over to Jerryland. The old one was set up where the football field had no cover on it, but the bleachers or the stands, all that did. So if it was raining, the football players got wet, the fans didn't. But when they built the new stadium out there in Dallas, yeah, that one's all indoors. That thing's like $1 billion, I think more than $1 billion facility. I mean, you're talking state of the art everything. So yeah, that's going to be indoors. It's going to be completely insane. Yeah, and I'm going to look up some photos of the stadium because I'm going to look for something high up. I'm going to see what Shane McMahon's jumping off of.
Oh, well, I've got a picture here if you want to have a quick look. This is obviously professionalism brought to you by Pressing.me. What other fucking way would it be brought to you by? We're very professional. We live on shows never take time to lollygag or pussyfuck around like we're doing right now, but we digress. Don't prepare themes. Don't do this live on a show, you son of a bitch. It always does this. Now, if you don't want your phone to play up, it fucking plays up. By auto-rotate. Oh, fucking hell. Auto-rotate.
Yeah, I should mention that NXT Takeover will not be in. It won't be there. It will not be in Jerryland. It will be at the K. Bailey Hutchinson Convention Center.
Yeah, that's the fucker.
But yeah.
Let's get the fucking lighting right. That's fucking big.
Oh yeah, it's huge. It's one of the biggest football stadiums in the world.
That's incredible. I literally had to screenshot it. It's literally picture doesn't do it justice how fucking incredible that venue looks. I mean, 30 I thought looked the best out of all of them that they'd done. I just thought it looked superb. 31 I didn't like how bright it was all day. They couldn't help that. But that to me looks out. That's like top of the art everything. And they haven't even finished it yet. I'm looking forward to the conclusion of it.
Well, as you said, no more lollygagging. God damn it, I'm tongue-tied tonight. You ready to preview all this and give your predictions?
Yeah, I say why not. We've already pussyfucked and lollygagged around for about 50 fucking minutes at this rate, so we've already got 16,000 dislikes, so we may as well fucking get down to it now.
Yeah, let's get down to it here now. This is Pay-Per-View Profits, and if you've never played along before, you're welcome to join in. Down here in the comment section, we want you, and we got to stress comment section, not the chat room. In the comment section, put down your picks. We're going to name here's how it works. We're going to name the match, and then you're just going to tell us who you think is going to win, and that's it. If you get a correct pick, then you get a point. And then also bear in mind we're going to have some tiebreakers at the end of this, and those are just as important as the picks, because everything comes, if in the event of a tie, you go directly to the tiebreakers. We'll have a series of those, and the person with the most points at the end is the winner, and therefore the pay-per-view profit. And this is for entertainment purposes only, so please no wagering.
He's joking. The winner gets a limited edition hand-signed porn magazine signed by Ray Mustani. So for information, head over to iloveporn@raymustani.com.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Ray Mustani would try to win the porn magazine, then he would ask, instead of it being autographed, just to have it laminated.
Dude, I don't know what that could be a great business. That's a great business idea. Laminated porn magazines. You can reuse them over and over and over again. Dude, just a learning tree experience right here on this show. Let's get on to the fucking card. Come on.
All right. Now, I'm going to start at the bottom of the card and slowly work my way up. So at the bottom, and this was actually just named. I think it was actually officially named last night, as a matter of fact. Apollo Crews versus Elias Sampson. You've got arguably the man I feel is going to be the next big face of NXT. once this crop that they have now goes up to the main roster, taking on the Drifter, Elias Sampson, who's been, he suffered a setback. He suffered a loss to old Johnny Wrestling himself, but he's still had that certified mean streak, and these two are going to go at it here. Looking at this, I don't know. It depends on how they're going to end this. If they're going to set Apollo Crews up to be to make a run at the championship again and build him up, I think he needs to start off with a win. If they're not going to try to make him the face, this could definitely be the start of a new feud. You could have Elias Sampson, I'm saying that they have not done this, and I'm just thinking it's the perfect opportunity for it. Why not have Elias Sampson lay him out with a fucking guitar? I'm talking like Honky Tonk Man style, lay him out, sheet to win with the guitar shot. I mean, I can see either that, but if NXT is going to go the way that I think they're going, I got to go to the man with the Pepsodent smile. I got to go with Apollo Crews.
I'm the opposite. I think they're going to give it to Elias Sampson. I really do. I got that feeling in my gut. I mean,
what is it? I mean, do you think he's going to be the next a big heel that they're trying to push? Do you think they're going to try to drag out a feud between him and Crews? Do you think maybe they're going to try to have this, like, I know they like to do in NXT these road to redemption stories. Do you think this could be the start of his road to redemption?
Yeah, I think it's more along the lines of Crews doesn't win on... Am I cutting out, Booms, or is everything okay?
No, I heard you. You're just fine.
Okay, cool. I'm just checking, because you're a bit laggy for me, so I'm making sure it's not me and it's you. Okay, so... technical difficulties as fucking usual. This show can never run fucking smoothly, can it? There's always something going on. It really pisses me off sometimes. You can never have a smoothly run ship. Something always clusterfucks or fucks off or just ludicrous. Off topic. Come on, back to what we're talking about. I think a Crews is going to be one of those guys that just never wins the big one. Like, I say that about Amore and Cassidy every single fucking time, and I think this is the first NXT preview show where I haven't said that Amore and Cassidy shouldn't win the tag titles. I think this is going to be Crews just can't win on the big stage. Just do that story. It's simple. Then when he does win, it'll mean something. Crews just can't win in big matches. He couldn't beat Finn Balor. He couldn't beat Finn Balor in a non-title match. He couldn't beat him in a title match. He couldn't beat Baron Corbin. Now he can't beat Elias Sampson. And then he's going to get angry. And then he's going to get motivated. And then he's going to fucking finally win it. And it's going to be incredible. So my prediction is Elias Sampson to get the win by cheating. Maybe guitar use or just being a dirty bastard. But I honestly see Elias Sampson getting the win unless it kicks off the show. If this kicks off the show, Apollo Crews is getting the win. But my prediction is Elias Sampson.
Now, Raymond Stein asked a very good question over here in the chat room. He says, how come Crews has not been pushed very well so far? I actually would kind of disagree with that, Ray. They gave him the vignette. He came in, made a big debut against Ty Dillinger at NXT Takeover Brooklyn. He has, they changed up his finishing maneuver. He went from that somersault to just that turnout, set out powerbomb that basically a spinning sit-down power bomb, so they switched that up. He was been in a main event before. He's had a shot against Finn Balor. Not quite his time yet, kayfabe-wise, not his time yet to win the championship. But no, I think they've done a pretty good job of promoting him and booking him, to be honest.
Yeah, he hasn't been booked bad per se, but he just hasn't been booked brilliantly. Like, they could have booked him better, but I've seen people been booked worse, but
oh yeah,
I do think though one day it will have his time. I think right now it's Finn Balor's turn as the number one babyface. It was Sami Zayn's, now it's Finn Balor, and after Finn Balor, I think it will be Apollo Crews for sure.
I talked about this last week during our NXT, previously on Wrestle AM, on our last NXT review that we did the other night. If you haven't seen that, go check that out. It's on the channel. And if you subscribe to the channel, you can find that. I asked the question: do you think once Sami Zayn's going to go, Finn Balor's looking like he's going to go? Do you think that Apollo Crews is the next big babyface of NXT?
Yeah, it's got to be done. Yeah, I think it will be done. You right there, Booms? You right?
I was there. I was there.
Sorry, you're doing that. You're going like that, and I was like, "Oh shit, you're right. You're fucking dying over there." Because you asked a question, and then all of a sudden your mouth started making this really scary movement, and I'm thinking, "Oh shit, we have Booms dying live on air. What else could go wrong on this show?" Are you okay over there, boss?
Oh yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, cool. I'm just double checking. Just double checking. Calm
Oh,
down.
I'm great. What was I going to say? I was saying that. Oh yeah, and what I said the other night was, and I stand by this, that Apollo Crews is going to be like Cam Newton, the Cam Newton of WWE, except for he won't be a douchebag.
Yeah, the Apollo Crews is one of those guys that, he always has great matches. I just don't care a fuck about him. I have zero interest in him. What's his character? He doesn't have one. He just comes out with a smile on his face. He's just any old regular Tom, Dick, and Harry in wrestling tights. There's nothing to him, Like Sami Zayn, he's a relatable guy. You got Finn Balor, he's that demon. What's Crews got? He's just a guy who's really athletic and muscular. That's all I see in the guy. I honestly don't see money in the guy. You shoot me if you want. I don't give a fuck. From what I've seen in Breaking Ground, I just don't see money in the guy.
Yeah, I do. I think there's money to be made with him right now. I mean, he's still in the early. I mean, he hasn't even been on the NXT roster for a full calendar year yet. I mean, there's a lot of places they can go with him. So I think the sky's the limit.
I'm going to get so much heel heat for that comment, and I'm going to regret the fuck out of it.
Yes, you are. Next is, as I actually mentioned just a few moments ago, but Sami Zayn, this appears to be his final match at NXT. He's going to take on the King of Strong Style, Shinsuke Nakamura, and making his debut. Fuck that, take my money. This is a good big get for WWE. This is a big get for NXT, and it's kind of bittersweet because I'm sad to see Sami Zayn go. I'm sad to see him go to the main roster. He does deserve it. He does deserve it. He deserves that spot on WrestleMania that he's got. In fact, he's going to be wrestling 2 times this weekend, which is nothing new for him. But he's going to have 2 high-profile matches that he's going to be in. And I also get to see the King of Strong Style on U.S. soil. I get to see him wrestle more now. This is a dream match. This is an internet dream match, and it's actually happening. I absolutely love this. What I'm interested to see here is WWE going to water him down, because I think putting him in the ring with Sami Zayn is not an accident. This was calculated because Sami Zayn has wrestled at the international level before, and if there's anybody, at least with NXT right now, aside from the champion, but who's already obligated to other things, that could best handle that strong style and maybe kind of gauge about where he's at and where he needs to go, it is Sami Zayn. But what I'm interested to see is, are they going to tone down Nakamura after this? Are they going to say, okay, don't be so stiff, or you can't do this, that, or the other, or you need to do more of this? I'm interested to see if he's watered down out the gate, or something happens, or they just cut him loose and go, no, do more of it. I'm interested to see how that goes. With my pick, I got to go with King of Strong Style. He's going to be the next big thing that they push in here. So I got to go with the King of Strong Style. And plus, Sami Zayn really doesn't need the win. I think Nakamura does to make a statement. Sami Zayn, I'm hoping, gets another big win a couple days later, so that'll be the payback for it. But Nakamura, that's what I got.
Yeah, I think it's just an easy pick to have Nakamura go over. It makes no logical sense to have Sami Zayn. Okay, I can see you looking at the point of view as, you want Sami Zayn to get the win because he's going on to face Kevin Owens at WrestleMania, so you want him to look strong. But this isn't WWE. This isn't WrestleMania that we're worrying about. This is NXT Takeovers, which means we're worried about NXT. So I think from that point of view, we have Nakamura win, Nakamura celebrate, and then Sami Zayn in the middle of the ring. He gets a big standing ovation, a thank you, Sami. And this is, in the end of the day, this is going to be a great wrestling match. Don't get me wrong, this is going to be a great wrestling match, but it's the crowd that are going to make this 10 times better. I always bash on the full sell fuckers because I think they're imbeciles, but I digress. I think this crowd is going to be out of this world for this match. I think this is been built very well with such little build. It's been built well with little build. If you get what I'm saying, they've used footage and video packages and sit down interviews to make this feel special. It has that big fight vibe around it, and I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm just looking forward to the entrance of Nakamura. I'm looking forward to Nakamura's like mannerisms. I'm looking forward to Zayn's mannerisms. Looking forward to the story they're going to tell. It's going to be a great wrestling match. Maybe not the best wrestling match in the weekend, but probably pretty much guaranteed the best WWE match over the weekend. But that just depends, on the time and how long they get and the story that they actually go out there and tell, because there's lots of different stories they could tell. And I'm just triple checking with you. Am I cutting for you, Booms, in any way, shape, or form?
No, absolutely. No, you're absolutely fine.
Okay, that's strange, because you're cutting for me. Like, I don't get it. Like, I can hear in my audio for you while I'm talking keeps cutting. It's really strange. Is anyone in the Internet Infantry talking about this on the group chat?
No, absolutely not. We can hear you. I can hear every word you're saying.
Okay, well, as long as they're happy, then I'm happy. We'll move on.
All right. Moving along here. Next, we have there's another debut match. The greatest man who ever lived, Austin Aries, also making his NXT debut against the Lone Wolf, Baron Corbin. This match started a few weeks ago. Corbin miffed about being left out of the three-way between Samoa Joe and Sami Zayn to determine a new number one contender for the NXT Championship. After being submitted at the same time by both of his competitors, left out, decided to make a statement by attacking Austin Aries, NXT's newest acquisition, from behind, laid him out, and instead of suspending him, Aries requested a match. He gave one sit-down interview. We've not seen him in the ring for NXT since his debut. Baron Corbin still on the mean streak, still hitting end of days left and right. Looking at this, I'm going to go with Baron Corbin. I hate to say it, but I think they're bringing in Austin Aries specifically down there to kind of take on a role, kind of what Rhino did. He's going to work with the younger guys. He's a professional. He's been doing it for a long time. And I think they're not going to have just all these new guys come in, because, as Coco says, if you have like a wrestling promotion and you have your guys, they're established guys, and you have somebody new come in and they just beat them, it makes your guys look that much weaker. And I think if you have Austin Aries come in there, and this is no disrespect to Austin Aries, I do like Austin Aries. He's been a champion everywhere he's gone. Definitely deserves that respect. He may become an NXT champion. I don't know. But I think they're going to use him as a stepping stone for Baron Corbin. They're trying to get him established as the next big heel. They're grooming him for that position, and I think a win over Austin Aries would definitely be an exclamation point. Okay. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think stepping stone, or am I completely wrong?
Yeah, I see it as a huge stepping stone. I honestly think that Corbin's going to get the win here. He's obviously going to get the win. And the question is, how dominatingly of a fashion is he going to get the win? Is it sure it's going to be long? Personally, I want to see a long match out of Corbin. I want to be impressed. I want him to blow me away. I want to be mind blown. I want to sit there and say, you know what? I bashed out Corbin, and I feel like shit because of it. That's what I want him to give me.
I want to see if he stepped up his conditioning since London. I want to see if he's stepped that up, because that's something I would work on with him. He was always wrestling those 60-second squash matches. Then he started doing tag team matches, and then when he did that one-on-one with Rhino, it was the longest match that he had ever done. They weren't even 5 minutes in that match, and he was completely blown up. He was sucking wind like you wouldn't believe. And now I think maybe that's something they acknowledged when they put him in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic with Rhino. Then they tried to branch him out a little bit more. Now they went back to the squash matches, but I definitely want to see some progress, because a part of me wants Corbin to go up to the main roster, because if he goes up to the main roster, he will get eaten alive, and I will love every fucking second of it.
Dude, no, like, because we hate him so much, he's going to be the most over guy on the fucking main roster, and he's going to push us to the moon.
Because Vince is watching. We know WWE's watching us. We know Vince McMahon's watching the show. Well, those two fucking internet assholes hate him. Linda, Stephanie, Trips, because that's what he calls them, Trips. Trips, this Corbin guy, let's bring him up.
Yeah, he's been on the. Well, I was looking at the Access people who, like the wrestlers that are signed for Access, and he's one of the NXT stars. It's only Samoa Joe, I think Baylor's on there, and Corbin's in there. So he's not, Nakamura's on there too. So, that's a good sign for Corbin. Maybe not for Corbin haters, but a good sign for Baron Corbin. But the way I see it, Raw's already shit. Fucking chuck Corbin up there. That moves a spot ready for NXT. Nakamura could take the fucking spot. Austin Aries could take the fucking spot.
Oh, they're not going to put Nakamura up on the main roster right now because he would fucking murder. And I'm not saying that lightly. He would fucking murder half the goddamn roster. I mean, look what happened when they cut Styles loose. Styles knocked the teeth out of the Miz's mouth because Miz had never seen anything like that. And he got a rude awakening, and they had to throttle back on AJ after that. You take Nakamura, you put the King of Strong Style up on the main roster without running him through NXT to kind of tone it down, he's going to kill half that roster, and they're already hurting for talent right now with all the people out.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to keep Nakamura down there for a while, but I think Aries Corbin, if, a crowd's going to be great again, it's going to be full behind Austin Aries. This is the match of the card that I just don't care. I think the build's been really weak. But again, the issue is, we haven't seen Aries and we haven't seen Corbin. The difference is this isn't a dream match. This isn't a take my money, this is going to be a great wrestling match. This is, we get it. It's Austin Aries' debut. It's going to be special. But in the end of the day, Corbin's going to go over and then we're all going to complain about it like 20 minutes after the show finishes. So,
absolutely. We got some questions in here from the internet infantry, and I do want to give shout outs to Andy Paps, Ray Mastani, Crazy J Ray, everybody else in there. I do appreciate you. We're gonna start answering questions and kind of keep it going. First one from Trey Parker actually has, where the fuck is Coco? That's a good question. No, actually, Coco is, let's see, he's got a book coming out, so he's doing the last second edits on that, make sure everything's squared away. He's taking care of his wife, taking care of his kids. He runs like 57 businesses out of 800 countries in the world. He reads to orphans, he bottle feeds puppies, he does all that. So he's staying busy. So we're just filling in and helping out and having some fun. But Ray Mastani, back to him here. He actually asked a pretty good question. Does Austin Aries have the ability to draw? I think that's a good question. You don't think in WWE, he's a former ROH champion, he's a former TNA champion, he's been successful everywhere he's gone. You don't think that success would translate over to WWE for him?
I just don't see him like. I love the guy. I fucking adore the guy. He's probably in my top. If I had to list the top 25 wrestlers currently wrestling in the world, I could possibly put Aries up there. I just don't see him as a draw. I just don't. Like, okay, he's got a good following, but is there ever, when do you ever hear the demand for Austin Aries? Like, I want Aries. Like, during this show, has anyone looking forward to the Austin Aries debut because I love Austin Aries? No.
Good point.
I just, and also like the name value of Austin Aries. He had that run in TNA where he was world champion for 2 years. Well, he wasn't world champion for 2 years, but he had 2 years as a main eventer in TNA. It's a bit different with AJ Styles. I mean, the guy was in Japan, in TNA as world champion for fucking over a decade. You got Samoa Joe, main eventer in TNA for over a decade. Rhino and legend. Finn Balor, just a legend. Well, not obviously a legend. Finn Balor, obviously, like Japan and Indies. So it's a bit different with Aries. I love the guy to pieces. I think he's a great motherfucking professional wrestler. But I just don't see him as a draw. It's like Bobby Roode.
Basically, what you're saying is he's a good wrestler, but you don't think just by putting his name up on the marquee that's going to get people in the building.
Yes, that's exactly. It's like Bobby Roode. The guy's a fucking great, one of the greatest in my top 10 pro wrestlers of all time. Easily. I love the guy. If loving Bobby Roode is wrong, I never want to be right, as Mr. KocoSports would say. But if you put his name up on a thing, You may draw 1,000, you may draw 2,000, you may draw 3,000, but you will not draw WrestleMania size 100,000 crowds on Bobby Roode or Austin Aries. I'm sorry, it just won't happen. And if you don't believe me, you're in denial.
I mean, I can understand that. It's like Austin Aries, that name alone is not enough to get me to buy a pay-per-view or to buy a ticket. But if you put Austin Aries and say, well, we're going to have Austin Aries versus Finn Balor, and there's a good build-up to it. Okay, now I'm interested. Okay, but just the name alone probably isn't enough to kind of get you in the build. I see what you're saying there. Let's see. Raymond Stani asks, should Baron Corbin have the biker taker gimmick? Or as I like to call it, the under redneck is what I like to call that gimmick. But no, I like his. I actually like his gimmick because it's really not a gimmick. It's just him turned up a little bit.
Dude, that's not him turned up. That's just him back. He just looks like a fucking douchebag.
All right, well, we got the answer to that question quickly. All right, next we get into some championship matches here. First, we have the NXT Tag Team Championship match, the Revival defending against American Alpha. So you've got Dash and Dawson taking on Gable and Jordan. Oh my God, this is going to be fucking insane. I just hope they give enough time for this to happen. The Revival defeated the Vaudevillains. These guys are old school. They remind me a lot of the Arn and Ole Anderson, the Minnesota Wrecking Crew. These guys are ground and pound, just come in there, beat you up, isolate a body part, break it. American Alpha, they're like the second team Angle. These guys have just amazing backgrounds as amateur wrestlers. These guys have a lot of charisma. These guys got over the way you're supposed to get over. They worked their asses off. They connected with the crowd. They had natural charisma. People latched onto it. They can't get enough of them. These guys are fucking red hot. So red hot, they're blue. When a flame gets so hot, it just turns blue. That's because that's how hot it is. That's American Alpha. That's how fucking hot they are. I got to go with American Alpha. I just think if you have all this build up and you have the Revival retain the tag team championships, you're going to suck all the air out of that building.
Yeah, I think, in my opinion, if I'm booking this, I'm having American Alpha win, and I'm having it in the opener to kick off the show. Kick off the show with that, and you're going to get a rowdy fucking audience.
Oh, I agree. I think you know what? That's actually not a bad idea. I mean, you would get, a match, a highly anticipated match, a team that's fucking over, and possibly a title change right off the bat. Oh man, that's going to be amazing. In fact, actually, LK, that is the first of 3 championship matches that they're doing. The next one will be, and this is another one. Shut up and take my money here. The champion Bayley defending against Asuka. Of course, as they keep promoting, Asuka has had debuted, I think last summer after Brooklyn. She debuted, and she has made the fastest rise to the #1 contendership. She has destroyed everyone that she has been in that ring with. She put Dana Brooke on the shelf for a while. She's kicked Bailey's head, or not Bailey, Emma's head off, knocked out Dina Purrazzo. She has plowed through everyone she's been in that ring with. And what I like about this, if you'll indulge me for a moment, is the story that's really not, I mean, it's there, but they're not telling you. It's so laid out. Here's what I mean. Asuka kind of just looked, when she gave that look over to Bayley after saving her from that beat down from Nia Jax and Ava Marie, she just kind of brushed the title, gave that little smile, and just walked away. And then it just kind of shook Bayley to her core. And you could tell she was shaking, but she wouldn't mention it. And when they interviewed her about it backstage, and this is all kayfabe, of course, you could automatically see her body language completely turn, her voice completely change. Everything about her was changing, at least from what I was. And they don't address it. They don't straight up and say, she doesn't say, well, I'm scared, or are you scared? Because that's what they would do on Raw. They'd be like, are you scared? Do you think you're going to retain your title? No, they're not doing that on NXT. With Bayley, what she is saying is she knows she's going up against a brick wall, She's about to stare death in the face, and you know what? She's scared to death, but she's going to have to do it anyway. And that's what I like about this. It's just that sub right there. And I mean, it's just good storytelling. You don't have to tell me what these guys are thinking because I kind of know, and or maybe they don't do it because they want to leave it up to our interpretation of it. But this is just a dream match, and again, this is bittersweet for me because I've heard they're calling up Bayley, and if they're doing that after Mania, it means she has to lose the championship, and I hate that because Bayley's my homegirl. Okay, I make it no secret. I don't know. Okay, I'll tell you exactly what it is, and I've said this before. But for those of you maybe a little new to the show, I will tell you, Bayley, and I'm not joking, and I mean this with all sincerity, Bayley's my favorite professional wrestler in the whole world right now. And I just always found that strange because all throughout my past, people knew I was in my personal life, people knew I was a big pro wrestling fan, and the question would always come up, who is your favorite pro wrestler? We know you're a big professional wrestling fan, and it was just always, well, I've got some people that I like here, but I never had one. I never just had one pro wrestler that I could go, that's them. That is my favorite professional wrestler. That's who I want to see. If I could only meet one pro wrestler, that's who I want to meet. If I could, go to one event and just want to see this one person, that's who I would want to see. I never had that before. And I think it's strange because Bayley connected with me on an odd level because she doesn't come off as fake. She comes off as a very genuine person. And she's a fan. She respects wrestling. She loves wrestling, and it comes through. And it reminds me of a time when I lived, for a while, I lived over at my grandparents' house. And that's how I got introduced to wrestling. My uncle was a wrestling fan, so we would kind of watch a little bit of wrestling. And we're talking way back, and I know I'm probably dating myself, but I would watch stuff like, like the Rock and Roll Express. We're talking old stuff here. And I would just, and when she comes out, just that smile, everything is so infectious. She just makes me feel like I'm 6 years old again in the living room, in the floor, at my grandparents' house, sitting watching wrestling on that huge ass fucking TV. It was like a cabinet, sat on the fucking floor, a long time ago, kids. And that's why I like her so much. And then you get Asuka, who's a very accomplished star in Japan. She's about my age now, which is pretty fucking old. And she can wrestle. What I like about Asuka is that she decided to take a chance. She decided to come over to, just go completely across the Pacific, come into a new country. She's already a superstar in Japan, and she had to essentially come to a place where not that many people knew who she was. And she has already earned so much respect with the NXT crowd already. And it's definitely less than a year. I would say about 6-7 months.
Yeah, around about that.
So around about that, she's earned that much respect already, and it's only going to grow from there. As soon as she leaves NXT and goes to the main roster and gets into the main product, it's only going to grow. This is women's wrestling. I thought that we would never see matches quite like this in NXT after they yanked up 3 of the 4 horsewomen when they pulled up Charlotte, Becky, and Sasha. And now that's going to be on the main stage at WrestleMania. But here is a very, I guess, equal value. Bayley versus Asuka. I want to see this. And as much as I hate to say it, I think we're going to have a new champion. I think the fans ultimately are going to win no matter what. And in my humble opinion, I feel like this should be the main event because to me, this just feels so much bigger. But I've got to go with the Empress of Tomorrow. I got to go with Asuka.
Yeah, I think you might want a tissue there, Booms. You're sobbing up. That was a great story. I enjoyed it.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I agree. Everything he just said, you nailed it on the head. How am I meant to fucking follow that, you son of a bitch? That's like Corbin and Aries having to follow Nakamura and Sami Zayn. There's no way I can top that. It's gonna be a great wrestling match.
And I know I know it's different for me because I feel it more at a personal level and a passionate level. But I think you enjoy it as well at a different level. In a, I guess from a professional wrestling standpoint, just in terms of pure athleticism, I think you're going to appreciate this match. I think if you're, this is one of those where when people want to dismiss women's wrestling, it's like I could take a non-wrestling fan who think, well, wrestling's bad, but women's wrestling's even worse. I could be like, no, sir. Come sit next to me and let's watch this match. Not knowing anything about it, not watching it beforehand, I'm talking live, I could sit them down next to me and go, watch this. This is women's professional wrestling. This is what it should be. And I have absolute confidence that these two women will deliver.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. I think that's, to me, the draw of this. I like Bayley. I'm not gonna deny. I'm not like a Bayley super fan. Like, and I'm not bashing or disrespecting any Bayley fans.
Absolutely.
That's just I struggle so hard to emotionally attach myself to a woman wrestler, and this is sad. I physically can't. Sasha, if I had to have one, Sasha Banks. Okay, Sasha Banks is my favorite women's wrestler on the planet right now. I just love her character. She portrays it so well, and like you said, it seems like that's what she's like in real life. But when it comes to this match, it's just I'm looking forward to it because I know it's just going to deliver one heck of a wrestling match. I mean, these takeovers, it's a list of who's great women's wrestling match. I mean, at London, you had the Emma versus Asuka match, which was pretty damn entertaining. You had Bayley dragging a great match out of the big machine tank with a Ferrari engine. I forgot the stupid bitch's name. Nia Jax, thank you. And then at Respect, you had that 30-woman Iron Man match. And then, you go on and on. You had a Sasha and Bayley at Brooklyn. It's just, there's so many great women's matches. And, it's bad that the reason why I find it so hard to attach myself to a women's wrestler is because, my first experience in wrestling, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004 as a kid, it's bra and panties. It's my very first VHS video was SummerSlam 2000. It was released in February 2001, which is 1 month after Royal Rumble 2001, which was my very first show, recorded on a old little record set. Still got it. And it was like it was Terry versus the Cat in a thong stink face match. Okay, so to me, in my mind, I don't care who you are, older generation, picture wrestling in their head. This is why I don't hate on Jim Cornette. When Jim Cornette first watched wrestling, that's what's in his mind. He sees it as a sport, and that's how it should be treated, which is why he finds it disrespectful for companies like Lucha Underground. For me, when I picture women in professional wrestling, I picture that. That's what I picture. So if you're telling me, if you say to someone my age, women's wrestling, half of the audience are going to say, hey, look, I love women's wrestling. I followed it closely. But the other half are going to be saying, hey, look, I've been brought up on women involved in love triangle storylines where they're the whore, or presented just as whores, or presented in bra and bikini matches where, at one point, like, I think the women's championship was defunct. I mean, the closest we got to a women's division was, in 2001, 2000 was Chyna and Lita, but she was green as goo shit. Trish Stratus greener than green goo shit. And it's just like the way I look at women's wrestling is a lot different. But I hope that, the brand of women that we have now hopefully changed that, the way how, the younger generation who are watching it now at the age of 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, that they perceive and look at women's wrestling in a different light to the way I was brought up on women's wrestling. And obviously you were brought up on mainly men wrestling. Whereas, you kind of didn't have that, distraction.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I'm sorry to interrupt here, but when I was a kid, the women at the time were valets, they were managers, they were arm candy, they were, I hate to put it this way, but props, essentially. Miss Elizabeth was essentially a prop. Sherry Martel was a prop. And I remember one time somebody saying, well, Sherry Martel was a ladies wrestler, and I'm like, oh, she could wrestle too? Oh, and in the WWF at the time, women's wrestling, the championship was defunct, and then they brought it back with Alundra Blaze when they hired Medusa back in the 90s, and when her contract expired, then then throw it in the trash can. That's a different story for a different day. Back at least in the WWF days when they had a women's division, WCW didn't. That was kind of the reason why they did it. It was one woman who could wrestle and it was all these other just essentially, I hate to put it this way, but circus freaks. You had like the fat girl, and yes, I'm referring to Bertha Faye, and I know she's passed away. God rest her soul. And I'm not saying anything bad about her. I'm just saying that's how she was labeled the fat girl. And then you had like the busty girl, and all this stuff that there. And a lot of their wrestling moves consisted of grabbing the hair, doing a snapmare, slapping, and rolling around. That was it. And then and then it devolved into bra and panties matches. Now they did. I will give credit. Now both you get instances with like Lita, where you already have someone who's a fairly decent wrestler, and they get better, or Trish Stratus, where she couldn't wrestle, and she made a point to go in there and bust her ass. And then they started mixing them up with women who couldn't wrestle, and that's when you had the whole. They were trying to talk about women's empowerment. So you had you would have on the same show you would have stuff like Lita versus Trish Stratus, and then you would cut over, and then you would see Sable with the body paint, and Jackie, even though she could wrestle, strutting around in a thong. It was just mixed messages, and I think one of the good things about NXT, and I know we need to move on to the championship match, and I'll finish up my point, let OK finish up his point, and then we'll move on, is that NXT looked and made a point and go, you know what, the girls are just as tough as the guys. They can be good. They can make us money. They can be draws. And obviously they are, because, this is the most passionate me and LK have gotten on this review is just talking. They just mentioned the women's championship match between Bayley and Asuka, and we're like, oh my God, this is the greatest fucking thing ever. I think that's what their goal is. And I think it's also evidence that all the girls that they pulled up from NXT are on the WrestleMania 32 card, and a lot of their total divas, they're on the fucking pre-show. Yeah, Anna, I just may be some simple country lawyer here, but I say I done rest my case.
Yeah, the way I always see it, divas itself is such a derogative term. Like, they're not divas. They're like, I hate it. I hate. I get cringe every time they call them WWE superstars. Like, they call Zack Ryder a WWE superstar. He's not a superstar. He's fucking not a superstar. He's a wrestler. He may be a shit one, but he's still a wrestler. He's not a superstar. How is Jack Swagger a WWE superstar? How the fuck? Okay, John Cena's an exception. Undertaker's an exception. They're superstars. Triple H, he's a superstar. Roman Reigns, he's not a superstar. You go up to the guy down the road and say, do you know who Roman Reigns is? You high or something? No, they're not going to know who the fuck he is. Randy Orton's a superstar. They do know these guys, and I hate it. I hate it. And the word diva is horrible. Rumors going around is that they're going to have the women's championship come back, and I like that. Refer to them as women. They are women wrestlers, not divas. But it's just... I'm so happy now that, like, people who are now 4 or 5 or 6 years old will be brought up on women's wrestling properly, not what I was brought up on, because I now am finding it difficult to transition into women's wrestling not being whores, juggling around in fucking bra and bikinis, which is why I get so angry when I see women come out like Deonna Purrazzo the other day, which is why I got angry when she just came out in, like, such a sluttish, whorish outfit. That's why, because that's what I like about Bayley. She comes out, she's in trousers, she the only piece of skin she'll show you is her stomach. That's it. That's all you do, that's it. You don't need to see anything else. You're there to watch the wrestling, not the lady parts. And we'll leave it at that, and we'll move on. Jesus Christ, that was passionate, Booms, and I like that. That was good.
All right, now let's get to the main event here. The champion Finn Balor versus Samoa Joe here. Championship on the line. They squared off in London. Actually, you were there. You watched the match. You're going to get a rematch here. Do you think lightning's going to strike twice, or do you think Samoa Joe is finally going to lock in that coquina clutch and claim his prize?
Yeah, I think we're going to get Samoa Joe with the win, and I think it's going to be a great match. Again, it just depends. There's so many. Go on.
Now, I like the build-up to the match because, I liked how the whole thing started. They were tag team partners in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. Samoa Joe asked for a championship match because that was the whole reason of partnering up with them. Balor said yes, but William Regal said no. You've got some guys you have to wrestle first. Samoa Joe felt miffed. He turned full heel on Finn Balor, went on a certifiable mean streak, got a match against Finn Balor in London, failed, re-earned a #1 contendership through a series of matches against Baron Corbin and Sami Zayn. Has again been on a certifiable mean streak, choking. I mean, he choked Bull Dempsey out of the promotion. They did the go home show with a arena brawl. I think this is a good build up. But here's my question: do you think they are getting ready? They're getting Finn Balor ready to go up to the main roster, or do you think they're setting it up to where I guess what I'm trying to say is, do you think Samoa Joe is going to be a transitional champion? Because I said earlier on the review, I think Apollo Crews is going to be the next big face of NXT. Do you think they're setting up Samoa Joe to be the big bad guy, so that way Apollo Crews has someone to beat once he makes it to the top of that mountain?
Yeah, or even just anyone. There's a lot more baby faces than there is heels right now. I mean, if Baylor, for instance, does beat Joe, you've only got really Apollo Crews left, whereas you got Joe. You could do Joe versus Austin Aries. You could do Joe versus Nakamura. You could do Joe versus Baylor again. You could do Joe versus Crews. You could just go on and on about people Joe could wrestle. So I think it's a good idea to have Joe go over. It opens a lot more alleyways and avenues to go down in future championship matches. And it's business, and Finn Balor's been a great champion, and I think it's time to just move on. Let's have some fresh stories. I mean, Balor can go on to feud with, say, a Nakamura. Or, he can go on to feud with the Baron Corbin, who he didn't really have a chance to feud with or have any altercations with, because obviously Corbin was involved in this shitty Austin Aries feud. But, I think Joe's going to get... That's my prediction. I think Joe's going to get the win here.
All right. You know what? I got to go with Samoa Joe, too, because I think they're going to call up Finn Balor now. Well, I guess the bigger shocker would be is if they kept the title on Balor and had him stay on NXT a little bit longer. I think that would be the shocker, because I think everybody's expecting Samoa Joe to win. But I think the bigger shocker would be if Finn Balor kept the title, stayed going there a little bit longer, then brought in Gallows and Anderson. But I think if they're going to do that, if they're going to go to the trouble with the Balor Club, as they're going to call it, or Bulletproof, whatever they're going to call it, I think they're going to wait and save that for the main roster, which means he has to lose it. So, and I think that's what they're going to go with. So there you go. I got to go with Samoa Joe. And if that's the case, man, we've got all 3 titles changing hands. I don't.
Dude, it's Mania. Reset button hit. I like
reset
it.
Button.
I like it.
All right. So, real quickly to review here, I'm taking Apollo Crews, Nakamura, Corbin, American Alpha, Asuka, and Joe. Okay, who are you taking? Just run it down real quick.
Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Who did I have? So, in the opener... Oh, fuck.
You had Samson.
Samson.
You had Nakamura.
Nakamura.
Okay, between Austin and Corbin.
I think Corbin.
Champion tag match.
The American Alpha, and that will be the opener.
Women's match.
Oh, that's difficult. Asuka, Bayley go up to main roster.
And championship match.
Joe. I reckon Joe.
Okay, now I want to tell everybody that it's going to be taking place this Friday night. They have a pre-show, which will start at 9:30 Eastern Time. The show will kick off at 10 o'clock properly. I have to work that night, so nobody message me on Facebook. Nobody send me any tweets, because I don't want to know. I'm going to wait until I get home on Saturday morning, and I'm going to watch the show. And if you spoil it for me, I'm going to murder you.
Dude, it's the block button. Block them. Block anyone. Block anyone who ruins it for you.
Oh, come on. I'm not Joey Styles. Inside joke there, kids. So, but now we got to go with the tiebreakers. Okay, first tiebreaker question is, what match will be the opener? The next tiebreaker question will be, will Finn Balor be the Demon? Will he dress up, in the full body paint? Yes, or just, yes, he will, or no, he will not. You got any suggestions here? We should have at least one more tiebreaker question. You got one?
What will oh Jesus, it's not really, it's I don't know. That's a difficult one.
Okay, how about this one? In the NXT Tag Team Championship match, who will be the person who is pinned for the loss?
Oh, dude, that's just like flipping a coin. There's no,
There's
that
four
doesn't take a
people.
brain.
There's four people.
Yeah, that's true. Fine. The
Unless
fucking Dash. I fucking forgot the one with spiky hair. Dash. There you go, Dash. So we got
Dash,
Dash. Dash will take the fall. What was the first one was, I think, American Alpha will be the opener, and the second one was
will Finn Balor be the demon? Will he come out
yeah,
with a full body paint?
yeah. He'll come out as a demon.
All right. I'm going to say, just to break it up, I'm going to say it's Dash Wilder's going to take the pin, and no, Finn Balor won't. So there's our 3 tiebreaker questions. So down here in the comments section, just put your picks in, and I tell you what, I'm going to look at some questions here, but I'm only going to take stuff related to what we've just been talking about, where this is just a review show. Maybe we'll do Stump the Idiot. We'll get to them. And let's see here. Booms, do you remember the WCW All-Women Wrestling back in the day? They didn't promote it all that much. I do remember Medusa. I remember Bambi. She wrestled like a match that I can remember. Missy Hyatt, and that's about all I remember at WCW back in that time period. Let's see here. I'm going to go back over. I'm just going to go all through this. Okay, we've already answered that. I think we've answered everything as we've gone along here. If we missed your question, we'll try to get to it in a Stump the Idiot, or you can post it on our official Stump the Idiot thread over on prowrestling.me. So just go check that out. Go look in the forums there. There's official Stump the Idiot thread. You can put your questions in there. Myself, Dave, and LK will answer those. We'll go in there and answer those. In the meantime, you can always check us out at KocoSports.com, KocoSports.com. You're home for combat sports. It's where it's okay to be a passionate fan, and it's where the world goes to kick ass. So be sure to check it out there. We're going to have a review afterwards. Let's see what we got cooking here. We've got a Lucha Underground review coming up. We're previewing match by match every match on the WrestleMania 32 card. Be sure to check that out. Of course, we'll review WrestleMania 32. We're also going to review the Monday Night Raw after Mania. You got to check all this stuff out. So if you have not liked or subscribed to us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, please do so. And LK, it's time for you to do some shameless self-promotion. Tell us all about your VIP page and what we get.
What you get, so you get Daily Dirt every single day. I've already recorded my Daily Dirt for today. And they also did a little bonus show for my VIP members. I did a show previewing every single WWN presenting show at Mania weekend. I talked about ZZW in a lot of discomfort and disrespect. So if you enjoy my rants, you will probably enjoy that show. Also, I talked about the Evolve cards, the Mercury Rising card, the Shimmer card. Also going to be doing some reviews of those indie shows, because basically what's happening is on this channel, and you know what, Coco don't like when I say this, but I don't give a fuck. I do not give a fuck. He can fire me now if he wants. In the end of the day, I'm doing these shows. I'm watching fucking tier 1 wrestling and all this and that. No one fucking watches it. So you know what? I'm going to give it to my VIP members who appreciate it and thank me and ask me intelligent questions about the product, and I love it. I absolutely adore doing the stuff. There's so much more content over on the VIP. That VIP's been open for, a month? Already 42 damn video podcasts uploaded on that damn channel. So go over now, subscribe. The first 14 days, completely fucking free. If you don't feel like you're enjoying it, unsubscribe. You know what? You enjoyed the experience, and thank you for doing that. It's simple as that. And if you do enjoy it, continue to subscribe for not even £1. That's 99 pence, 99 cents a month, 99 fucking yen, however the fuck it much. 0.99 your currency. That's all it costs per month. That works out probably around about, 2 pence, 2 cents a show, if that. Which is, just a great deal. So head over there, links in the description, and subscribe. And obviously like, comment, subscribe over here on the KocoSports YouTube channel and the ProWrestling.me YouTube channel as well.
All right, okay, play us out here.
Oh, Booms, you mixing it up, you motherfucker. So that has been Boom Booms. This has been LK. Stay safe, stay well. Me and Booms, I hope you enjoy NXT Takeover on Saturday morning. I'll be enjoying it on Friday night. Me and
Yeah.
Kokotus has been confirmed. Kokotus did message me. He has taken the day off. He can do NXT Takeover review. So it'll be me and Kokotus for the NXT Takeover review, a very rare NXT review from Mr. David Kokotus. So that being said, stay safe, stay well. We'll be damn sure to catch your asses down that line.